Hi everyone, this is Deborah and today I'm sharing with you this little journal that I've made this afternoon. I've based this on a flip through that I saw of the current issue of Somerset Studio magazine. We can't get that in Australia. I probably lamented that to you before. So I've just seen this as it's been going through and thought, oh, I'll have to try and do one of those, but obviously my own version because I haven't seen the magazine in person. So this is it. It's very cute. It's 2.5 inches wide by about 9 inches tall, and I've just got some seam binding, some crumpled seam binding here that I've put around it, and as you can see when you open it, it's actually an accordion. So I start at the front. I've used a lot of vintage stuff here. So I've got a photo from Tim Holt's Found Ancestors that I've crumpled and made look old, and a bit of lace that I've put on here. On the front I've also got this vintage train ticket, which is lovely, and some vintage botanical paper underneath there and a bit of washi tape, and I've sewn stuff on. So if we turn it over to the next page, this is just washi tape, and I've sewn a piece of lace down there. I love this old lace. And then the next couple of pages is the vintage chemist book that I've got. So that's a page out of that. Just beautiful. This piece here is covered with some homemade paper and a very old vintage piece of carpenter's ruler. It's the fabric one that I own. And the paper was given to me by a lovely lady called Beth, and thank you, Beth. She gave me a little packet of them, which was so sweet of her, and I've used one in this journal because I thought that it just looked beautiful, especially with the old tape there. On the next page I've used a bit more of that lace and this botanical washi tape, another one of the ancestors, and a ticket that I've aged up. This green music sheet is beautiful. It's quite thick, this one, and it's a piece of vintage music sheet as well with a bit more of that lace sewn on the top of it. And this one here is a piece of scrapbooking paper that I've aged, and then down here is a bit more of the chemist journal. I had to cut it down because it was wider than the 2 pages, so I thought I'd use this bit because it's got a bit of interesting writing on it. And then I've got a vintage theatre ticket here. The next 2 pages I've put some dictionary on, so you can see I've folded that across and got some dictionary on there and a bit of washi tape, and then another piece of that beautiful handmade paper. And then to the back cover, and that is a piece of scrapbooking paper. I've stamped a Tim Holt's Journey stamp on there. That's a very old stamp that I own. And then another piece of this beautiful lace, which is really pretty, that I've just sewn down the side. Left that so you can flip that back and maybe you could put something there on it if you wanted to. If we start from the back now, I've got a piece of scrapbooking paper and some washi tape here. And then I've got a page out of an old diary. The diary goes on to the next page as well, and I've secured that down with some washi tape. The next pages are from an old book, so there's some vintage botanicals there, and I've stuck them down with washi tape. When I put the washi tape down, I also put some double-sided tape underneath to make sure that it stays stuck down. And this here is a piece of scrapbooking paper, so you'll be able to do some journaling entry on there. And then I've just tied it up again with the seam binding, and you've got this adorable little book, which is just darling. It's really feels really nice in your hand. So that's what I've done this afternoon, and I hope you enjoyed that flip through, and I'll catch you next time. This is Deborah. Cheers.